Amazing to be here again. This is my wonderful friend Arti Kakad and me, Shaima Jindi. I am a love and relationship coach, and I really love doing these videos to share with you things that I'm still continuously learning as I go through life. And Arti?
And I am a hypnotherapist, and I help people change their inner conversations to reduce stress and anxiety in their lives.
Awesome. So what we wanted to talk to you about today is a hugely important topic. In fact, I would say certainly in the topic of love and relationships, and maybe all topics in life, it's really, really central. And that is the topic of self-love.
Indeed. So Shaima sent me a quote a couple of weeks ago, and it said, it was something like, of all the things that you love, if you were listing all the things that you love, how long would it take for you to name yourself? And it just, the quote just blew my mind, because at the time I was sort of experiencing a sort of week or two of low self-confidence, low self-esteem, and I was trying to use all these affirmations to get back on track. And then she sent me that, and I was like, yeah, that's really true, actually. I'd say I love my husband, I love my parents, I love my friends, I love my family, and somewhere, along the bottom of that list, I might remember to name myself. I don't know if I ever would.
I don't think I would have. Before reading that quote, I don't think I would.
Yeah. And part of it is that you don't go around saying, oh, I love myself so much. No. It just sounds a bit weird. But part of it is that, for me anyway, I feel quite guilty putting myself first, actually. So actually, for me, to say that I'm going to put myself first or my own needs first has taken a bit of work, and I'm still working on that and sort of grappling with the boundaries around looking after myself and being a help to others.
Yeah. And I mean, I had a sort of epiphany recently, because I'm quite self-critical, so I think that quote meant a lot to me, because I love loving other people. You say, I love pouring love into the other people in my life. But when it comes to me, I'll just beat myself up over the tiny things. And, I try and be a positive thinker and all of that, but still you'll fall into the trap of saying, oh, why did I do that? Or, okay, well, I could have done that better. And, another really important quote I heard recently was, if you wouldn't say it to your friend, don't say it to yourself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I was like, for sure, I would never speak to you like that. I would never even think those things. Do you know what I mean? But somehow when it's yourself, suddenly your self-critical mind goes on. So just remember to challenge yourself. It will come with time. When you find yourself being really self-critical, remember, switch it to a place of love if you can.
Yeah, and a really good NLP technique that my mentor taught me, I'm sure she won't mind me sharing on video, is that if you hear yourself talking in a way where you wouldn't talk to others, first really understand for yourself why it's so negative. Imagine talking like that to someone else and the impact it would have on them. And then once you've really convinced yourself that this isn't the best way to talk to yourself, you can then use a technique called stop. And you literally stop that thought in your head. You say, no, I'm not having any of it. And you can turn it into a funny sound like Mickey Mouse. You can just play your favourite music until that stopped, going around and around in your head. You can make the voice louder and really ridiculous. You can make the voice the opposite of what you're actually saying to yourself, whatever works for you, but something that just changes it up in that moment. And the brain, you kind of need to train the brain. So a bit like a child who's learning something new, or a puppy you're trying to train. You might need to do this a few times and remember. And then eventually your brain will go, oh, I'm going down that thought process. And every time I do that, she plays this kind of music, and it will kind of start doing it automatically. So like anything new you learn as a child or an adult, so, at some point it will become automatic to stop all those negative thought patterns that you have about yourself. I think we have hundreds and thousands of thoughts a day, and most of them are the same as they are yesterday. So give this a go and try and change that up. And then eventually, when you're thinking about yourself and talking to yourself positively, you'll go around feeling a lot happier.
Yeah. And I mean, keep it to yourself. Like Arti said, if there's guilt around that, just make it your own personal thing. You can say self-love affirmations to yourself in the mirror every day. Louise Hay has the book, is it 21 Days to Heal Your Life?
Yeah.
And she teaches you how to look in the mirror and really, you know, commit to loving yourself and use the mirror as a tool to reflect self-love. So just do it for you, and you will probably notice a difference around how other people react to you, because when you're coming from that place of love, it's what one of my mentors, Rory Ray, calls a fountain. You then have a fountain of love which spills onto others. So really nourish that and see the difference.
Yeah, you sort of start giving off a different vibe, don't you? Sort of. Sure. I know someone who used the affirmation "I am beautiful" to herself every day, and she noticed that actually people were coming up to her in the supermarket and kind of go, "Oh, you're really beautiful. You look really beautiful today." And her husband was paying her more compliments, and that kind of thing. And that was just from the language she was telling herself. Often people will talk to you how you talk to yourself. So if you change how you talk to yourself, you might find that the people around you change how they talk to you as well, or you'll meet new people.
Yeah. One more thing you could try. Okay, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Is it Ho'oponopono?
Oh yeah, the Ho'oponopono.
Okay.
I think.
We will put a link in the comments. But I think it was coined by Joe Vitale. And it's like a Hawaiian meditation, and it involves saying to yourself 4 phrases. I'm not sure if there's a particular order, but the 4 phrases essentially are: thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me. So if you say that to yourself and really feel yourself absorb that energy, it honestly, what he talks about is how the outer is a reflection of your inner, and you'll see your inner will transform. Your inner will become a lot more loving, a lot more self-forgiving, and you'll see your outer world start to transform as a result of that.
And another thing that I really recommend you try is rose tea and rose petals. And before yesterday, that would have sounded completely ridiculous to me, but I bought some rose tea recently. I just really like yogi teas. I really like herbal teas. And I bought the rose one. And I was just sat there yesterday sort of sniffing my cup. My husband thought I'd gone mad or was high on something. But I just felt so much love bubbling up inside me for myself and everyone else. And I would have called myself crazy if I hadn't experienced it, if I had heard someone say that. But hey, if lavender can calm you down and turmeric can boost your immune system and, you know, caffeine can make your heart beat faster, then why can't rose make you feel more loving? So
sure.
I highly recommend that.
Sure. I mean, they say the crystal rose quartz is great for loving vibes. So are you wearing rose quartz, did I see?
I don't think this is rose quartz. I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
But
okay, so in any way, let's pretend that's rose quartz. Totally wear a rose quartz bracelet, or, you know, some jewellery with that, or even just have like a crystal in your bedroom or somewhere in your house.
Yeah.
To boost the vibes.
Yeah. If you sort of hold a piece of rose quartz, and I do have one in my handbag, which I take out every now and again. Again, I would have called myself crazy, and sometimes I still do, but it does have an impact. So yeah, when I'm in a sort of very rational thinking mood, I kind of think I've gone a bit nuts, but it does have an impact.
Yeah. So we're not saying you need to try all of these things at once and, you know, completely bombard yourself, but you'll find some of them resonate more with you than others. So like the Louise Hay practice, I dip in and out of it. Sometimes I'll just be near a mirror and I'll just feel really called to do it. Some days I just won't do it at all. So experiment with them, you know, try them out. Try the crystals, try the affirmations, like you say.
Yeah, and question what you're saying to yourself. So a lot of sort of berating I did on myself was when I had what I called an unproductive day. And then I sort of questioned that, like, actually, why am I defining this as an unproductive day? Does resting mean unproductive to me? Do I need to be doing and achieving and ticking something off my to-do list all the time? So I stopped berating myself for that, and I allowed myself to have time to be, which most people I think do without guilt. But question what you're saying to yourself and why, where it's come from, why you think that you know that requires you to be telling yourself off. Often we have, you know, we don't talk to ourselves negatively for no reason. So it's either because we've kind of absorbed something negative someone else said to us, or we think it's going to be motivational. So I think somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought I was going to be able to achieve more if I kept sort of telling myself off for not doing enough. But actually what happened was I got into an even lower energy because I just felt like down and, you know, annoyed and anxious, and therefore got less done because I wasn't feeling particularly productive. Whereas now, I will allow myself to rest, I will give myself affirmations, and I'll have more energy when I do want to work, to do the work properly.
Yeah.
Sharon was looking at me with an eyebrow raised. I'm working on it.
No, you are, and I think that's a good point, because there would have been a time when you would have been really hard on yourself because of that.
And all completely unaware that that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's what I actually, if you watched last month's video, that's actually what I chose to work on for our 30-day From Fear to Love challenge.
Yeah.
How did that go for you?
It was really awesome. So I poured love into a relationship with somebody, and all I wanted to do really was really pour healing into that relationship. I wasn't even looking for a specific outcome. I just really wanted them to feel the love, and the relationship to feel the love, and the situation to feel the love. So I changed it up a little bit, like how I did it. Sometimes I would just focus on their amazing aspects and just repeat that. Oh, you're so amazing. You're an amazing parent. You're amazing this. You're amazing that. Sometimes I would just literally say, I love you, I love you, I love you to them in my head over and over again. Sometimes I would use the Ho'oponopono thing, and I would just say, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, forgive me. So I would say it felt, at the beginning there was resistance, like I said to you. But as I went on and I played with a few different techniques, the resistance just melted and it became really amazing by the end of it.
And did you notice the relationship change?
We don't actually speak, so this is the interesting thing. I've never actually met this person, but they're a person sort of in the periphery of my life, and I may be meeting them in the future. So I just wanted to use this, because when I meet them, I want there to be that loving vibe. I want there to be love felt between us. So I'm doing this like as a preparation.
Yeah. So you'll meet them with a positive vibe.
I hope so.
Sort of, yeah. Okay, so keep us posted on how that goes.
I will. How was it for you?
How was it for me? So at first I was trying to use it to get more done, which wasn't really working. And then I realised that I was going at it the wrong way. And actually I just needed to use it to sort of forgive myself isn't really the right phrase here, but be okay with sort of almost being human.
Sure.
Be okay with the pace that I go at. And I would say that compared to people... compared to like my parents, or my mom anyway, compared to my husband, I do go at a slower pace, and I just have to accept that. And my slower pace is great for when I want to work with kids, when I want to work with adults, and I don't feel like I need to pressurise them to sort of, I don't know, realise something that I already know that will help them. And it's great when I'm with the elderly and I can take them shopping or something and not feel impatient. So actually my slow pace has some advantages. It's got some disadvantages, but you can't be everything. So I sort of poured love into that and accepted that for myself.
Awesome. And how does it feel?
A lot better. I think, I'm less kind of down on myself if I haven't got my to-do list done, and I think my to-do list is probably a bit more realistic as well. I have learnt to say no when I think I was just accepting any work I got at one point, and I've learnt to say no and not feel scared that because I've said no suddenly all my work is going to go away from me, and so I've kind of learnt that actually I don't have to say yes to every single opportunity that comes my way, and if I am busy, I'm busy. It's a work in progress, but it's a lot better than how I was living my life before.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So our challenge for you this time is to try 1 to as many of the self-love rituals that we mentioned that resonate with you. Experiment with them over the next 30 days, try them out. And whenever you're feeling a little bit down, whenever you're feeling a little bit self-critical, pull one of those out of the bag and see how you can shift yourself to a place of loving yourself.
And thanks for listening. See you next time.
See you soon. Bye.